Alright, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Millennium Dawn modded playthrough of North Korea. We are declaring war on Australia. So that is what our justification is for now. As we hunt light metals, metals, and precious metals. And oil. Always looking for oil too. But we're just looking for targets to expand our empire in the South Pacific, as we have unified most places that are not protected by larger countries right now. Cyber warfare is going to be largely to thank for what's going to happen with our military fight against South Korea at this point. We do need to get all that up. Yeah, and they're fielding a massive military buildup along the border. Absolutely massive. So trade. We need more oil. Venezuela has plenty to trade. We're just running out of factories to trade with. That's our biggest concern. And let's go ahead and get ICBMs on order. Yep. As we're working on a lot of military facilities right now for the war. We're bumping our infrastructure gains on the west coast of the home territory. That way we can support our empire out at range at sea and project power. Yeah, so once these rail lines finish up and these ports get to size 10 like this, we'll be able to push out a lot more supply. Yep, just increasing our supply throughput right now. That's also why this port has so much going out of it as well, or had. Okay. Yeah, so we're not going to be fighting in the jungle anymore, and we're going to be fighting against 5th gen F-35s. I would have expected more unit spread there. Yeah, so we do have... Oh, my bad. I'm going to make 3 more brigades to throw into these units. Definitely want these units because they have crazy high defense. Well, our regular infantry is actually insane. Look at those stats. But the combat width, at 20 combat width, that's hard to beat. Or 21, but... Yeah, they don't get good mountain or hill attack. Where's mountain? Oh, right here. 29%. -8. -13. %59 bonus. Jungle. Desert seems fine. They do have an advantage in amphibious attacks. And river. And some bonuses in forest. Probably in cities as well. A little bit, not too much. Plains, they're just that bad? Yeah. I have to imagine our forts are built, right? Yeah, our first line of forts is built. Where's Marine Command? Are these bases up? That'll work. Alright, something like that. Yeah, so you see rail lines building out. And you see more supply moving to different areas. It's good. Places that I'm gonna airdrop in behind all these units and immediately screw them up. We're just gonna do a lightning attack on South Korea. Yeah, so battle plan for South Korea is just mount a defense here, at least on this line. Hopefully a defense in depth. Try and push through the mountains, right? And then use our paratroops to land in the back here and just cut this off. That'll disrupt a lot of the supply routes. Specifically, I would want to land on those rail lines right there and here. But something like that. Okay, so we had some ship research getting that. Add Marine Corps, which grants naval invasion capacity, but not naval invasion like plans. That's useless. Thank you. Nothing gives the bonus we actually need. We can still only have one naval invasion target. That's crazy. Alright, get Marine Command. We'll set up the naval invasion. I don't know if I'll actually be able to do it, but that's the plan. So that's researched. Active camouflage is required. Go ahead and start on some night vision. I'm going to need more civilian factories. That's readily apparent. So let's see what my options are. We've got Pyongyang. Guess I could do some stacks there. Along the entirety of the Philippines. Alright, future air-to-air. I think I am going to go ahead and get the upgrade added onto our production cycle units. Let's get our air superiority upgraded again. Call this the 2. I'm going to go ahead and switch this to helicopter research. Outdated equipment. Don't really have a lot of steel. But we do need to start bumping up APC production. Alright, we'll get a lot of factories done soon. Yeah, so that naval invasion plan's there. Let's get our naval dominance set up. I'm just gonna go ahead and move a bunch of boats. Oh. Never mind. I didn't realize this was 15 boats. So we're gonna change the dock. Eastern Java. This is now gonna be West Papaya. Or Papao, I don't know. West something. His patrol realm is just gonna be the sea. And he's gonna be actively patrolling with all his corvettes. How much naval dominance will that be? I don't know. Alright, is it even moving the boat? Oh yeah, we are patrolling. Okay. So we get a bonus from radar and from air bases. So we have enough to get over the 300 mark with these ships. Where's our convoys? Production. Okay, I do have convoy production, good. We're gonna need as many of those as possible. A KPNS Anju, a 2025 cruiser. Our first modern cruiser. Well, semi-modern. Alright, national focus. So that is a motorized force. Let's see what we got. 15th of May. So about 6 months we'll be at war. We need to be building factories and offices like crazy. We're so far in deficit for economy. Like even lowering my military spending didn't even like dent it. Are we looking on power? I'm gonna go ahead and bump those back up. All right, so we got the early research. It does lower healthcare costs. That should have actually made a huge change. Yeah, that lowered our. Look how much that lowered our spending. It was like $20 billion. That's insane. So our deficit dropped a little bit. And we're going to keep going for the quick strike to grab space in Australia. All right, so divisions. Improve cooperation and compliance between our occupation forces, civil and local. Back in the hands of a local government. No. They want to rebel? Or do we not have a claim? So we did not get it as a core state somehow. That's lame. That's really lame. Alright. We're gonna get dominance over this by the time we hit 2039. Yeah, and I think we'll just have overwhelming air power. Let's see what we have. Intel-wise, they just have crazy ground strength. Their navy is large. We're going to have overwhelming air superiority. Even if they have, what, 600 more fighters? Well, maybe more like 1,000. They'll have 1,000 5th-gen fighters. Just themselves. What about Japan? So that's 3. This is 5. They're going to have 500 more. Yeah, so we're going to have to fight an air force of about 3,000 5th-gen fighters. That's a little bit nutty. But I don't think they can field... They can't field all of them in the air bases they currently have. So we do have that working for us. We'll be able to kind of counter them. Oh man, Japan does have islands all the way out here in the US. So there is the outer island chain. It's going to be a fun fight. For sure. I'm going to go ahead and recruit some more scientists. Even though there's really no benefit. Just makes me feel better about the labs. I guess I could try and re-roll for a new leader. Honestly, though, he's pretty good. So that may be just completely pointless. Maybe more nuclear power plants can't hurt either. Can always get more of those. Considering our power generation is dropping. We're down to 123. I only have 5 more plants I can build from what we were originally working on. Alright, we got our first carrier. We got 5th-gen attack chopper design. Heavy Nara's done. Some non-explosive reactive armor. More helicopter stuff. Let's go ahead and get rocket pods and drones. Where's the... Yeah, so we're just working on our economy really right now. Eventually, like, once we get all this kind of integrated and our economy situated, we won't have to worry about all these smaller nations we start integrating. They're not going to shift the balance as much as these did, because we already have a 500 million population. I don't know what Australia has, but I don't think it's going to be enough to like majorly shift our unemployment rate again. It starts becoming percentage gains, not of order to like not of orders of magnitude different. Small incremental changes. We are pumping out factories though right now at a fairly substantial rate. Oh, don't want that. Wanted 2 more. All right, so we're approaching May 15th. Very quick here. It is February 12th. So 3 months. There we go. Ship launch cruise missiles. Don't know what that is. Oh, capital ship attack bonus. Perfect. Yeah, we want that. This is ICBMs. More infantry, right? Oh, special forces. I was wrong. Okay. So we're going to add one unit to each of those. And then where is this one? Okay. I'm going to reallocate spacing on the line. I find it interesting they're not. There we go. I think this could hold once we get more units in that division or that group. I think it could actually hold. Even without mechanic or mechanized, sorry, even without mechanical, like mechanized infantry fighting vehicles for armored units, I think we can still hold this line. Non-mechanized forces, or at least with supporting mechanized forces. I mean, I guess if I get nuclear power plants down here, they're harder to bomb. Like this island chain. Alright, so we've got Red Dawn done. Now we can go attack America. So this is the last artillery one. Let's get these. We're going to throw those units in. Yeah, so I think this holds this region. I don't see us losing this even in a fight. Yeah, power-wise, we're still losing power. That's the bigger issue. One month. The next episode is definitely going to be the invasion of Australia. And I'll be watching the air combat very closely for that. Looks like China does finally have supply out here. They've got some air mobile divisions. All right, let's go ahead and trade for fuels that we're lacking in right now. What's our pop sitting at? 600 million now. That's mostly from natural growth after we annexed everyone. And that's also why I'm fighting our expenses going up so much and why I need more civilian factories. So I can build faster than our pop growth is now. Yeah, like our unemployment percentage is going down though. That's pretty good. Am I going to be able to outpace the cash flow? The not cash flow, the cash we're sitting on, I guess, more. Ooh, definitely need that. Our reserves, cash reserves. That's the word I'm looking for. All right, so we got the road to war. We're going to go ahead and threaten the South. Let's see what... Yeah, they're improving relations, but I don't see anything that's actually going to stop us. And we'll get the United States out of this country. All right, so let's check our intel ledger. Yeah, so they have a bunch of modern equipment, but modern destroyers. This is weird. Yeah, but they don't have the divisions right now. All right, go ahead and get this going. All right. And so we go to war. We do. All right. Let's see what invasions we can get going because we need to have them work. So all special operations are going to go right now. Looks like we took most places straight up. Let's see if we can save our guy. All right, so we got everything there. Took the airfield. We've got our inland in Australia. Who is lined up? Is this Marines? Looks like it's Marines. Marines are going to clear that. Airborne units. They're going to go ahead and hold this front, which we did not make long enough. Let's get that all the way around. So all our airborne are going to move into position. Pacific Command, delete that order. And we need to really see what we want to go for. I didn't really have a phase 2. You know, like phase 1 was important. I think I'm going to send them all to the east side to grab all these ports. I really didn't plan this far ahead though. So, all right, let's get our guy. We're going to set him up from that corner. And we're going to go... Oh, I guess we can take out that whole state. We're going right there next. Then we're sweeping down south. So we're going to go around and just walk this whole line. And then we want this section of rail lines after that. I don't know if I can do a third order in queue. Doesn't seem like it's going to work. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. We'll just do those 2 actions. We'll see if we get into position. All right, we are holding the airfield. Marines are shrinking that space there. Reinforcements are arriving. All right, cool. So we're going to send the Marines and we're going to follow this rail line. Yeah, so we're going to follow this to here. All right, so Pacific Command, we'll go ahead and enact the order. I'm not shocked they're fighting in the desert right there. Yeah, so the US sent divisions. Just what you don't want to fight. Alright, so we want to keep them stationary and jump around them. U.S. military divisions are horrible to fight against. But as long as they don't have supplies, I'm not terribly concerned. But we really need to get that dock. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we got. So let's go ahead and get... I think there's an airfield. Thought there was one on that island, but I guess not. Where is... Do I not have another one? Guess they are all full. Okay, then right here. I have 10,000 heavy lift aircraft, right? Go ahead and get supplies. Let's see how this works. 7 of 13. That's about half of what we need. And I don't care if these get shot down, so they can waste all their ammo shooting these down. We have so many. Alright, so we threaten the south. Feed for 365 days. Okay, so then we can sit on this. This gives us war support bonuses, which we need. Alright, so this will give us supply delivery, which we're struggling right now. It's US forces that are holding out. Oh, look, multicolored fancy rockets. Okay, she's still there. Go ahead and use our back door that I don't have. That I do not have. Whoops. Alright, so we are... Oh, man. Okay. Well, we can do some things here to help us ourselves out. I'm gonna do those things, and then... some things like this. And these now take priority. Alright, so we'll go ahead and build all that up. Looks like I may be able to switch some of those fighters to Cass as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, I guess I just don't have supply. Anyway, let's see. That's 200. Move them to interception. These we can switch to strategic bombing. And then these we can send to do CAS. All right, and then more supply, huh? Somehow we need more supply. I don't know how it's possible we could need more than 2,000 heavy lift planes, but we do. To support our efforts. And if we spread America really thin, we might be a little better off when this goes bad. All right, we should be building railroads really quickly as well. We can get supply nodes out. That's connecting. What? Did I get... What just happened? Where are... I was like, where did they go? They're there. All right, we're gonna push something like this. Yeah, so those air, like U.S. forces, we are not making any moves against. Oh, did we lose a Marine unit? Did the U.S. unit really do so much damage it blew up a Marine? APC unit? That's insanity. It's actually terrifying that they do that much damage. Okay. We took out an airfield. That's gonna help. The question, though, is not... I mean, I guess we are fighting the tank here. We can fight them. It's just we have to fight them in a specific manner. Time and place. Not in desert tiles. Yeah, so on mountains, we're fine. Yeah, we need to push this port if we can. Ooh. Okay. Oh, did we take out a supply hub? We did. We snuck in. Uh-oh. Get some first level rail lines for some basic supplies. Well, actually, this could be a naval yard or dock. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get all that being made. Looks like they pulled troops out from the gap. Ooh, looks like they're going for an assault. Even though we were entrenched. So they're going to fight us into the forest. Is what they're doing. Those US forces are tough. Alright, I do want to shrink the tiles that we're trying to defend. So preference is definitely less defensive maneuvers being made. I don't want to lose any of this. So let's go ahead and make sure we do some damage. On the flank here. We could getting a better spread would be nice. All right, I'm going to do something. We must take Pacific Command and remove the weird, crazy orders and get our offensive lines right for this. And just take all this and say withdrew. Okay. We need all these units here. What are y'all doing? Just go take it. Alright, we got the support. We have the airfield still. Push for these airfields and ports. Don't care how you do it, just do it. And he gets an entrenchment bonus or offense. I say we go offense. Always attack. We can use airborne units to defend. Alright, so we are defending the forest fairly decently. And I think we'll be able to get... Yeah, so we now have two ports supplying. We don't have a ton of fuel. Let's try and fix that as best we can. Construction-wise, what rail lines can we make? Those are going to be in control soon. We can flip an invasion off of this later. This can be a dock. We'll have more lines of supply. And I'll go ahead and bump all that up. All right, so we can get our supply lines built out. And that's probably it for this episode. I didn't realize it was this long. Thanks for watching. I'll catch everyone on the next one as we continue our war versus Australia and wrap up kind of our fight with the US too. I'm actually liking that we're able to sustain our own in the desert with the minimal troops we have. Like, they're obviously better. If you look in this, we're actually matching them. So that's pretty good. Anyway, ledger here. Yeah, so we're moving up 54 trillion. Territory-wise, we're now beyond Russia with our territory from Australia. Civilian industry, trying to catch Russia. Logistics, we do still have a lot of stockpiles, but our consumption rates are not insignificant compared to our production. Yeah, utility vehicles are a problem. Anyway, I'll catch everyone on the next episode.